What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Earth's Mightiest Gyros, episode 8. Now, today we are doing something a bit different, kind of special. We're doing a JOJO special. As again, I'm joined, as always, by the one, the only, the Edgelord.
Your boy Rafi.
Yeah, so we thought today we'd do a JOJO special because, well, majority of the movie news and stories is basically going to be the same: Corona cancellation, Corona delay, and this week there was a new chapter for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 8, Jojolion, that released. So we're like, you know what? Rather than telling people the same story over and over and over again, because they're probably going to get bored, as I'm pretty sure you guys already are. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks of us basically rehashing the same thing. So we're like, okay, we're going to do a JoJo special. So we're going to start off with a review for the latest chapter. Then we're going to go into another like sort of top 5 list thing. So just bear with us for this one. But that's enough from me. Rafi, how was your week?
I've been pretty good, pretty good. So obviously I finished Final Fantasy VII about 2 weeks ago, and I've been hit after that with a bunch of deadlines for uni work. So I've been smashing them out. I pulled an all-nighter last night, and yeah, just pretty much been doing uni work. And I also started playing some new video games, Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. Just got into that. It's one of those subscription type of MMOs, so it's going to drain a lot of money out of me, but god damn, is it a good game. It took me 6 hours to download, and I put about 10 hours on it so far, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. What about you?
6 hour down. Damn. Well, I, much like you a few weeks ago, had a bit of a health scare this week.
Ah.
A few days ago, I got sick. I got a fever and a really, really bad cough. Right, and I was just like, "Oh my god, no, 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 no! It can't be me.
It's happening! It's happening!
It's happening! No, no, no! It can't! It can't! No, it's not fair. I don't even go outside. That's cheating. That's actually cheating." And then,
We're like Plasma with needs. Not really, mate.
so I got shook. I was like, "Oh no, oh no! This is not good. This is not good." And then, turns out it was just a really, really bad cold. Because of the next day, it was literally one really bad night where I struggled to sleep. Basically, the only reason I did fall asleep was because I took a Nitol and a night nurse, which got me through the night.
Yeah, I had those same things as well when I was
Help me through
they
the
do
fever.
bits. They do bits.
They actually, like, bro, that could put out a horse. I'm like, yo, that's some powerful stuff. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have fallen asleep. It was literally one really bad night. So and once I fell asleep for like 12 hours. So it just was not fun. But yeah, I was fine by like Friday evening. Sorry. Friday evening when I started recovering. But Saturday was basically when I was all fine. But yeah, it was Thursday night, Friday morning, which was the absolute worst. And I was genuinely like scared for my life because I thought, oh, these are the symptoms. I've got it.
You just start thinking about the worst, yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened to me as well, because I got it right after my boss had just come back from South Africa, and he said he came down with the flu, but then he came back to work all good. It was the first time I met him, gave him a handshake, introductions and whatnot. And then a week after that, I'm ill. I was like, oh shit, did I just get something? Did I get corona from him? He was out of the country. He might have been to China, but it was just the flu. Just
Yeah.
the cold, sorry.
Man, let's just hope, try and stay healthy, everybody. Let's just hope that none of that happens again. Anyway, with that down, let's just go straight into the review for, Jojolion. I really dug this chapter. Like, still no Josuke, which is, annoying me. It's been like 3 chapters since we've seen him now. I'm like, come on, man. He's the guy. We need more of him. But, you got Mamazuku, my guy, the Joe bro.
The only JOJO in Part 8.
The only Joe bro in Part 8.
Maybe Jobin soon. Maybe Jobin. Who knows?
I still don't trust Jobin, but definitely not Joshu. Fuck that guy.
Oh no, Joshu. That's what I was going to say. No, Jobin. Fuck, he can never be a JOJO, but Joshu maybe. I can see Joshu and Josuke being bros.
Yeah,
Weird hairstyles and all.
Joshu's a bit weird, but yeah, this chapter was really, really good. There was a lot of exposition.
There was a lot going on in this chapter.
Yeah,
A lot going on.
So we finally have the identity of the head doctor revealed, sort of.
Sort of, but it's pretty much confirmed.
Yeah.
Maybe. This thing about Araki, he can do so much shit. Just like flip the script completely.
Exactly. He's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Oh, and what?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you up.
This is my story. What are you gonna do?
But yeah, that. So just going through the chapter, the first page, even when you see all the head doctors heading towards the prison. Like, do you see there was that? It was like I don't know if it was like an art piece.
Yeah.
But it looks so good. It just looks literally the best I'd say is menacing.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
of course.
The beginning called "Calamity is Coming."
You can't have JoJo without the menacing. I genuinely love the whole thing. Oh, what I keep forgetting what they're called. But you know, like in the show, whenever someone says something, and they have the whole subtitles saying menacing, and they have the little purple lettering.
Oh yeah, the kanji or romaji, whatever.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, as you were saying.
Going on the beginning of this chapter, literally straight getting hit with Mamazuku, trying to find out the identity, and the way he does it is so sick. Like, he uses the phone, and the way he gets out of the prison makes the guy fucking stab himself.
Bro, he fully makes a guy commit suicide. He talks a guy into suicide.
Yeah, Mamazuki is so fucking dank.
Bro,
and the little story you got behind that guy in the cell, like, is showing how dark JoJo's being. This guy killed a bus full of kids and stabbed them. So, damn, Araki.
It's like, and the magic of it is when Mamazuku was talking him, to death, I was getting annoyed on his behalf. Because I'm like, come on, Mamazuku, just do something important, and then you slowly realize, oh crap, this guy's a serial killer. He's bad. Why am I feeling sorry for him?
Yeah.
And then he knifes himself because Mamazuku drives into it. I'm like, yo, that guy's badass. Mamazuku's
Mamazuku's a beast.
And then he uses his stand to friggin' escape underneath, like in the ambulance with him. It's like beautiful.
I love his stand. It's just the name is just funny in itself, doggy style, and the fact that it's basically just stone free, but
it is literally stone free.
But better because it's this dude. Yeah. What I did find very cool, because we were just mentioning it before about how the head doctor got revealed. So before, last week, I think we were saying, or the week before, we were saying how we think the villains either was definitely Jobin and the head doctor. Well, it seems like the head doctor theory's gone out the fucking wall because motherfucker has to fucking stand. Holy!
I can't believe the head doctor's a damn stand.
Like
and a freaking powerful one. The head doctor reminds me of Sheer Heart Attack.
Which one was Sheer Heart Attack again?
Killer Queen's second one. The one.
Yeah.
The one who keeps saying, "Look at me." Yeah, and he's the one who basically wrecked Jotaro in that part, in part 4, when he's just before Jotaro absolutely destroys Kira so badly that he has to go change his fucking face.
The little bomb thing, right?
Yeah.
Sheer Heart Attack, yeah.
I think it's a remote control stand or something, like, and he has so many of them.
Mhm.
And this chapter made me think, you know what? Maybe Jobin might not be the main villain, but that Toro guy.
Yep. Literally, it must be, because ever since I saw Toro, and how there's sort of like a love triangle thing between, like, instantly when I saw Toro and how, like, they said there was like Yasuho and him had a past or some shit, I instantly thought, okay, some shit's gonna go down here because Josuke, main character, Yasuho, love interest. This third dude must be the villain. But then, like, Araki didn't develop him enough to give us that vibe. And also, since we had a bunch of chapters about this head doctor dude, especially with Jobin's wife when she had her nose surgery, we kept seeing the head doctor shit come up. And in this chapter, when you see Mamazuku, he's saying stuff like, "There's another stand user somewhere else." Literally on the next page, it just goes to Yasuho calling Toru, telling him, "I need your help. Come over here right now." I'm like, bruh, it must mean, like, how can you go from talking about the head stand user to just random Toru? So there's definitely a link there.
Yeah, I did.
That Toru is
again, I did not trust him from the panel he was introduced. I'm like,
David,
okay,
like, he just seemed too nice.
and like, yeah, there's always something off with this guy. It's like, he's got an ulterior motive. And now I'm leaning more towards the whole thing of he is the main villain, not the head doctor, but he is the main villain.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, because it's like because Mamazuki said it can be controlled from somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you see the head doctor in all these places, like you see him in the Higashikata household, you see him at the prison where Mamazuku is. Someone's controlling him, and then once you see that part happen, where you see once the whole Toru and Yasuho conversation is over, we go back to the Higashikata house, and bruh, when you see the head doctor there, what he's actually doing, like going through the walls and shit, like
Yeah, he's
he
so
was in,
he's
he was,
he's
he was
like a
in the
ghost.
he was in the cupboard, then he's in the wall,
And
then he's
he's
in
in
the
the
door.
bed.
I'm like, fuck it, hell, this is so sick. Bruh, like that was the biggest bra moment of this JoJo chapter. Finding out the head doctor is a stand rather than the stand user.
Yeah,
That just blew my mind because I did not like. Yeah, I'm just looking at the chapter right now. He was in the fucking TV monitor. Then he goes into the cupboard on the wall. I'm just like, bruh, this stand's gonna be OP as fuck.
he,
Literally go anywhere.
he's gonna be hard to beat. He's gonna be fully hard to
Mm-hmm.
beat. And then we find out that the Norisuke is not dead yet,
Yeah,
but
they
only
still have.
kind of dead. And it's like, what? I don't get it. Like 4 chapters ago, you showed him in a body bag. Then last chapter, you reveal what looked like a lethal blow. You know, to make us assume, okay, so this is how he dies, and now he's
Mhm.
not dead. So like make up your mind, man. This is Avdol all over again.
The thing was with this one as well, because Tsurugi. So what is it in the rock disease? If you kill someone, it's like an exchange, isn't it?
Yeah,
Equivalent exchange,
equivalent
whatever.
exchange.
So I'm assuming Jobin killed Norisuke to obviously save his son, but his son's still not saved because in this chapter you see what's her name, Jobin's wife, saying, "Oh, something's still going on with Tsurugi." So there's still some shit that needs to be explained, or not explained there, but like there's still some shit going on there. So Norisuke, yeah, he's not deaded yet. He can survive. He probably won't. But then the end of this chapter where you see Jobin with the Rokaya fruit, and then he just whips out. What's it? And I think his stand comes out, Speed King.
Speed King, yeah.
Then
And
his
he's
wife's like,
getting
"No,
ready.
don't go to it." Chapter ends. Oh,
He's like, yeah, he's getting ready to fight the thing head doctor. I'm like, oh, this
this is gonna be sick.
this is a bit of a new one, you know. I mean, it's not too often where you see 2 potential villains in JoJo fighting each other. I think the only time that's really happened is the thing part 5 with thing, what's his name, Risotto fighting Doppio.
Oh yeah, oh Risotto Nero, Metallica, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, him fighting Doppio. Love
But
that fucking ringtone. I need to make that my actual ringtone.
yeah, the end of the chapter was actually really like it really hooked me. I'm like, oh come on, man, May needs to come right now. He better not take another break. He better not take another break.
I really need to. Because the thing about these past few JoJo, so the main thing I've been waiting for to find out ever since we lost with Josuke was what was in that letter that he posted. And I really want to find what that is, but all these chapters where it's not been about Josuke, they've all been fucking heat. They have been so good. It's making me think like, okay, maybe add more chapters on this stuff. I can see the Josuke stuff later. But yeah, that's another thing I want to see right now as well. How Josuke takes a play in all this, and where he is, because like after he left Holly, after he posted that letter, that's it. That's all we've seen from him so far. Big swole boy. So I want to see what input Josuke's going to have now in this. But yeah, probably next chapter we're going to see a JoJo part 8 first, a proper fight between Speed King and Head Doctor.
Yeah, I'm really like really looking forward to the next chapter. He's built it up really well. So if next chapter, like, yeah, there's gonna be a fight. There's gotta be. If there isn't, I'm actually gonna be disappointed. Like, I mean,
So
come on.
I just googled Head Doctor is a song by Snoop Dogg. so
Oh my god.
so there we go.
That should have been the clue. That, oh my god.
That was it. We had the answers all there.
It was there right in front of us. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Hirohiro Araki has a very, very, I want to say bad, but it's not really bad. It's a habit. His habit his style in JoJo is basically to make references to music and musical artists. You know, a lot of the stands and enemy names always
Pretty
have.
much every stand music related.
Yeah. Every stand from part 4 onwards. Part 3, where they were all just kind of named
You're like
after.
just like literally
Yeah,
generic. Like you put it on a website, stand generator. That's the name you'll get.
yeah. But from part 4 onwards, every stand has basically just been named after either a band or an album or a song. So yeah, we should have, you know, figured.
We should have seen it coming.
Should have seen it coming. I'm not
Yeah,
a big what's it called, Snoop Dogg fan, so you know, maybe there's a reason I didn't pick that up. But yeah,
I don't listen to Snoop Dogg, but
yeah,
yeah, I should have done my homework and googled it knowing Araki. That's the thing though with Araki, completely changing from that. Actually, not the thing. So we're all expecting Toru to be the villain, but how many like madness reveals Araki's doing? That might not even be the case. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows?
yeah,
I do feel like there are sinister intentions behind Toru, but then again, there might be something to do with Jobin's mum. Forget her name. There could be something. We still don't know much about her. She could be controlling Jobin.
There's so like he's made this part specifically so bloody complex. It's like there's so
It's
much.
literally like murder mystery
There is so
type
much
vibe.
mystery behind it. It's like every other part from the get go, he sets out. Okay, here's the bad guy. Here's your hero, and here's how we build up to them two meeting. Okay, except for part 5. Part 5 was kind of just more like, okay, you know, halfway through they revealed, oh, the guy that they were working for, turns out he's the bad guy, but it's okay because his mission, because Giorno's mission, you know, was to take over his gang anyway, so either way he was going to have to confront him, so now it just makes it less of a moral thing. What's the word? Now it's less of a moral obstacle, because there is no moral obstacle. But with the thing, with this part, he's been so hesitant to show who the villain is, and part of it, I think he wants the readers to try and put together a puzzle, and I feel like he just gets enjoyment out of seeing people come up with theories, and those theories being wrong, because he knows who the actual villain is, so he can just laugh at us and say, "Ha, you're stupid." But yeah, overall, great chapter. Can't wait for the next one. So, with that down, let's just go on to our top 5 stand rankings. So, what is a stand? A stand is a manifestation of your fighting spirit.
Wait, what are we going on to favorite JoJo?
Oh yeah, sorry, you're right.
Favorite JoJo.
Yes, that's a easy one to say. Well,
Yeah.
my favorite JoJo, easy, Joseph Joestar.
Joseph.
Joseph. He's just great, mainly because his Japanese voice actor is the same guy who voices Gintama.
Yeah, I started watching Gintama recently, and yeah, it's the same dude, Gintoki. Yeah,
Yeah. So
voices Gintoki in it.
and not just that, but because you know part 2 was so much more interesting than part 1. You know, and
Of course.
that was mainly due to Joseph being such a more interesting character than Jonathan. Jonathan being such a square, brash, bold-faced justice hero,
Gentleman.
yes. And then you have Joseph Joestar, who looks exactly like his grandfather but acts not even remotely the same. And part of it is his wit is what gets me. His whole "your next line is blah," and it's like, yo, okay, I really really like this guy.
And then him in part 3 as well, where he's a Joe bro, and this the oh my god, holy shit.
Yeah, he's such a great character.
I still remember the one where I don't know, you should say spoilers, it's JoJo theme one, but in part 3 when they're fighting the girl who's like makes Joseph and Avdol magnetic.
Oh my god!
And then when the woman comes in, the old woman is like, "You're cheating on me," and then Joseph's like, "Help me! Oh my god!"
And I'm like, yo, this. Yeah. Oh man! But then part 4 they kind of ruined him and made him senile, which I'm just like, oh man, why are you gonna do that to my Joseph? He's my favorite character. That's the best JoJo right there. Who's your favorite JoJo?
Johnny.
Yeah.
Part 7. I absolutely loved part 7. Like,
with a
part Jotaro was my favorite JoJo, up to that point because of what like the first line Jotaro says in part 3 is like,
Shut
"Shut up,
up,
bitch."
bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. I wish I had that much manliness to say that. No, I don't. But like the way he comes across, like saying that. But then with Johnny seeing the evolution of this guy who, when he was walking, he was spoiled rich kid type vibes. Like he was doing whatever he wanted, and then as soon as he gets paralyzed, you see him like he's doing this race because like he's proved himself shit. And then seeing his journey going through whole of part 7, and especially in part 8, hearing that he took an L, a death, so
Yeah.
his wife and kids could survive. That is what a sick MC. I fucking love Johnny Johnson. His character design's also fucking amazing as well.
Johnny is pretty great. I don't like the nail gun sort of thing as much.
Oh, I love the nails being his. Oh, I love that, especially in that fan made opening.
Oh, I
For
do love that fan made opening.
when they go where it's like it's like oh, it's so good.
Yeah, to try and mimic the thing Dio getting shot. I really like it.
And I love the evolution of his stand. Tusk.
Oh yeah, Tusk is great. It goes through some really weird design changes. Across
Yeah,
the
yeah. At
evolution.
first, it was like such a small little chibi looking thing.
And then at the end of the day, it's just like some big Roblox character looking thing.
Yeah, Johnny's.
All right, well, yeah, Johnny's a pretty solid. That's it.
If I was going anime only, Jotaro, but I'm a manga boy as well, so Johnny.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so we've got our favorite JoJo out of the way. So I mean, it's only natural we move on to our favorite Joe Bro, and I say our favorite Joe Bro because I'm pretty sure we both have the same one.
Pretty sure every JoJo fan who's up to date the manga also shares the same opinion.
Yeah. So, yeah, my favorite Joe Bro
And mine.
is the guy who this podcast is named after, Gyro Zeppeli. Now, the Zeppelis are a great bunch of characters in JoJo. It's a tragic story for them because, you know, they're really good characters, but they're always destined
They
to
all
die.
get off.
They're
They all get off.
Yeah, they're destined to die saving a Joestar. So you had Will E. Zeppeli, you know, saving Jonathan's life. Then you had
Hey, baby.
which is weird because he was only in like 2 episodes, but
Couple episodes, yeah, just training Jonathan. So yeah.
yeah, but he still went out like a badass. He went out like a pimp.
And his character design was fucking sick.
Yeah, he had a really. Anytime you give a character a top hat, you just automatically win. It's like,
Any sort of hat, like a fedora, even.
yeah,
Malay.
but more specifically, his top hat. Like it's a solid top.
The only one who can compare of it is Speedwagon. But
Oh yeah, with his razor blade hat. Like, yo, that's pretty badass. And then you have Caesar, who, you know, before I read part
Bubble
7,
Boy.
Before I read part 7, I would have said Caesar was my favorite JoBro. Caesar is the guy who, if you don't watch JoJo, but you've probably seen the memes of, you know, the Caesar, where, you know,
Very nice. She's a champ.
yeah, where Joseph is lamenting the fall of his comrade.
His bro.
He's a very flamboyant, very Italian, very Italian guy. Like, yeah, I remember I watched the dub for part 2 as well as a sub, and like his voice actor for the dub, oh my god, it was borderline cringe how much he was forcing an Italian accent. Like, yo, you don't have to do this, just put on an American accent, just do it. But yeah, I think Caesar Zeppeli, who's the second Zeppeli we're all introduced to, but yes, the best Zeppeli and the best JoBro is Gyro, because I mean his last lines are quite literally, or not literally, it's basically among the same lines of, you know, it be like that way sometimes. You know, I think his last line.
It do be like that.
It do be like that, because I think his actual last line to Johnny as he's ascending to the heavens is you know, sometimes things just happen like that. You know, you just gotta accept it. Which I took it as my guy's literal last words were, it do be like that sometimes. So why is Gyro your favorite?
So, first off, before I even read part 7, I thought the dude on the front cover was the JoJo, because he looked so sick. He had the fucking grills, the cool looking hat, the fucking, it just looks sick. And then I find out Araki had so much faith that everyone was gonna love this character. He put him on the front, and that's obviously Gyro's Zeppeli. And what I love about Gyro is that pretty much the whole of Part 7, he doesn't really have a stand.
Oh
Like
yeah, he does.
ball break at the end sort of becomes his stand, but like he's that strong. Like he can just use his technique that his Zeppeli family has taught him to do all this shit. And then what's even more great about Gyro is that when you get the backstory part about his family being a family of executioners and how he wants to go away from that type of lifestyle. How like the reason why he did the race was to save that kid, right?
Yeah.
So he could get. What a gentleman, really.
He to save a kid he didn't even know. Like.
Mhm. Also the goat moment, pizza,
Mozzarella.
pizza, mozzarella. So good, so good.
I cannot wait till they animate Part 7. Like
That is gonna be so good.
it's gonna be like once Part 7 gets animated, it will be. I'm telling you, it will be the best anime of that year. People like, you know how people are saying, you know, the best anime of 2019 is probably Vinland Saga. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like once thing Part 7 gets animated, people are gonna be like, oh no, Steel Ball Run is the GOAT of the year. Like, I feel like if it does end up if it gets animated, which I feel like it'd be stupid not to, it will definitely be recognized as one of the top anime of the decade.
100%.
Yeah. So aside from so we got that covered. Let's move on to now what I wanted to do a few minutes ago, but evidently I got the order wrong. Our top 5 favorite stands. You know, we're gonna bounce between I think the both of us the way we did before. You know, with thing when we were doing our top 5 on episode 1. So we'll start off with me. So my number 5 favorite stand in JoJo is Crazy Diamond.
Okay.
Crazy Diamond's great. I love him. I love him. He's mainly because he's a healer. I love the whole. I love the fact that he can heal anyone except for his user. You know, it's quite. I don't know how to say it. There's an irony to it.
It's like a nice guy stand. It's like, I help you, man.
Yeah, and I love like the way Josuke gets so creative with him, like when he's fighting Angelo, and he breaks the glass bottle and traps his stand in there. I'm like, yo, that was clever. That was so clever. And then when he's fighting, what's his name, Kira, at the very end of Part 4, and he uses Kira's blood to get some weird glass shard and basically turn it into a bullet and stab him.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's able to match punching speeds, or he'll even exceed punching speeds with Star Platinum. I'm like, yo, my guy can go toe to toe with Star Platinum. Jotaro had to fully stop time in order to stop his face from getting fucked up permanently.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that, GG.
You know, but if he didn't have that hacks ability, that's it. Jotaro would not look like Jotaro. He'd look like, I don't know, like, he would look like Shigechi.
Oh no! Why'd you say that?
Although it's so weird though, because like obviously his name is Crazy Diamond, or or in the dub, Shining Diamond, which is infinitely worse name.
Yeah.
But his headpiece is in the shape of a heart. So I'm like come on, man.
You are, mate.
Come on. You couldn't have just shaped it a little bit more diamond-like. But then again, that it probably would have got too many comparisons. Weird. It would have probably got too many comparisons to the world. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mine. Crazy Diamond. Great stand, and I love his stand cry. And Josuke's theme is just the best. Well, not the best, but it's great. All the main JoJo themes are great.
Yeah. My favorite stand, or number 5 at least, is the first Star Platinum. Bit of a cheap one to go for, but it's like the most alpha stand there is. It's literally just punching shit.
Yeah, punchy boy, punch you really hard, punch you really fast.
That's like the first time we see the Like it's such an iconic anime moment,
It is.
manga moment,
And
and the design of it is just so fucking sick as well. Like the long hair and it's just the way Jotaro pairs up with it. Like Jotaro's got his hands in his pockets, just it's
yeah, yeah,
it's
that
so
iconic,
alpha.
the iconic one hand in the pocket, the other hand pointing at you.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
I
good.
find it funny how, because a lot of people, I think on the Stardust Crusaders Reddit, the JoJo Reddit, a lot of
Mhm.
them have this weird ongoing theory that oh, Star Platinum is Jonathan's ghost or something. I'm like,
Yeah, I keep hearing that. Yeah,
it's a plausible theory, but like, I mean, it'd be pretty cool if it was, because be
they're
like,
both purple. That's the only thing I could think of.
yeah, and they both have long hair. But yeah, it's a plausible theory, you know. I mean, it would make that final fight with Dio like really cool, the one who
Adds
lands
more,
in,
adds more meaning to it. Yeah.
yeah, it'd be like, oh, both Jonathan and Jotaro land the finishing blow on Dio. That would, I mean, it'd be a nice little bit of lore to add to it. Granted, it's probably not the case, but still, it's a
Mm.
pretty cool idea. But yeah, Star Platinum, our punchy boy, Mr. Ora Ora Ora, the guy who inspired so many anime references. Because like I don't know if you've seen it, like in so many comedy anime, they have references to JoJo and the punching barrages that they have, and the
Yeah.
thing. This must be the work of an enemy stand. It's great. Good choice, solid choice. Star Platinum is a very, very solid choice. So, moving on to number 4, my number 4 favorite JoJo stand. Okay, now you're probably gonna laugh. Um, Sex Pistols or six
No,
or Six
no,
Bullets.
that's a great choice. I fucking love Mister.
I love Mister, and I just love the fact that he actually has to feed them, otherwise they whine too much.
Yeah.
And how like I think it's number 3 that keeps bullying number 5 or something, or
Mhm.
might be the other way around. And I love the fact that there is no number 4.
Because he hates that. Yep.
Yeah, it's because oh man, because yeah, he's so superstitious. But yeah, Sex Pistols is probably one of the funniest stands in the show,
Mhm.
in the manga. Even definitely the funniest in part 5. I think Cheap Trick, or Echoes is still a bit funnier if you're talking about part 4. But yeah, Sex Pistols, basically any stand that can talk automatically is a win in my book.
Mhm.
But a stand that's as funny and there's like comedy
Mm.
relief as I think Sex Pistols is, along with thing its stand user Mista, who's just so paranoid about everything. It's a match made in.
Made in heaven.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I didn't want to make that reference. I didn't want to make that joke, but you made it for me. So I thank you for that. Who's your number 4?
Now this is purely because of name and because of the music reference, but the best part 6 Joe Bro who didn't survive Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm. Foo Fighters.
So the thing about Foo Fighters is also one of my favorite bands of all time. Fucking love me, Dave Grohl. But then also just what really has me sad about Foo Fighters is that she didn't survive at the end of part 6, which has me really sad. And also it's just funny. She was just funny. Like the whole part where they fought against Marilyn Manson and they did the ball catch, and she had to be like the one counting and shit. I literally have no reasoning for Foo Fighters other than I love the band.
I mean,
Literally.
solid enough
Also,
reasoning.
also it looks cool. Like the whole plankton thingy. I think it looks cool. But yeah, that's literally my opinion on it.
Well, that's I mean, it's
Short
certainly
and sweet. Short and
short and
sweet.
sweet. Certainly a reason. So I guess we're moving on to number 3 now. So my number 3 favorite stand, is I think it's the no, it's the 4th one we see in the show actually. Hierophant Green.
Yeah, it's the fourth one. Yeah, it's the fourth one.
Yeah, Hierophant Green. Right.
Emerald
Yes, the
Splash.
Emerald Splash I really like his design. He's
Mhm.
got a great design, and I love his his powers that he can basically turn into tendrils. Creep underneath. I love the bit when they were facing Tower of Grey.
Mhm.
he had his tendrils all within the plane, and he just like impaled the fly.
Yeah.
He's just like, what, yo, Kakyoin as a character is dope enough as it is. You give him a really
Mhm.
cool stand, and I'm
Cool
really
stand. Doper.
yeah, and they had that really cool power that they never used again. With the paintbrush thing, where apparently,
Yeah, they saved that for Rohan.
yeah, they did say that's for Rohan, but even Rohan didn't even use it that much.
Yes.
But yeah, still, I don't know why they wouldn't use a really cool power like that again. But
That was such a cool concept, seeing him like paint and fuck up Jotaro from far away.
yeah,
Cool.
oh, and then seeing Star Platinum bash his skull and just basically break him and just like choke him.
I saw this meme the other day where, so when Jotaro brings in Rohan, no, Kakuin, sorry,
Yeah.
in his house. That's like Jotaro is so Japanese, he even took Kakuin's shoes off. And you see the anime, it's like he actually did take the shoes off. Like there's no shoes on Kakuin. That's jokes.
Yeah, Jotaro, as a thing, was as cold as he is. He's a very polite, you know,
He
traditional.
loves him the animals. He
Yes,
loves him that.
very polite traditionalist. But yeah, who
Hmm.
who who would you say is your number 3?
Number 3, quite a basic option, but it's so iconic. Zawardo
Of course. Of
Dio.
course.
So just that noise, whatever that thing is. It's like that's such an iconic noise, and also his design is fucking dope. It's like all gold,
Yeah, and
and when we first get introduced to him, he just looks so good. With Dio as well,
he's
the
got
world is
and he's
amazing.
got all the like the timepieces on him. He's got the
Mhm,
clocks.
mhm. It's so good.
And
And the stand ability itself, being able to stop time for like 5, even though it's just 5 seconds, that's enough for Dio.
yeah,
So good. So yeah.
yeah, and just how menacing he is. Like when they infiltrate the mansion,
Mhm.
and I think they go with that. I forget his name, but they had the little troll guy, who had the woman's face on the back of his head, who tried to trick the
Oh,
who tried to trick the Crusaders into like falling into a trap. So
mhm.
and he takes them to Dio's coffin, and then they open the coffin and there's him in there, and then you get that chilling moment up your spine where you see something coming towards them. This is in the
Mm.
anime. I don't know. I think I didn't actually read the manga for part 3. Part 3 for me is anime only knowledge for me. So
I'm anime only for part 1 to 5 anyway. So
yeah, the same. So yeah, you see him running towards them, so much so that Joseph like had to fully get everyone out of there. And you had Polnareff, getting ready to square up, and then Joseph's like, "What the hell are you? Get out of here, man!" And like that whole menacing moment when then like, oh, it's a weird pursuit, and then they're all falling out of the what's it called, the mansion, and then
mm.
Hermit Purple has to, and Hierophant have to save them from like crashing onto the floor. Yeah, the world, honestly, such a broken
That
stand.
was so.
Great choice, honestly, really great
Mm.
choice. So I guess we're on to our number 2s now. My number 2 is your number 5, Star Platinum.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool.
Basically, same reasons as you. I love,
So iconic. Yeah.
iconic punchy boy there. Not much more to go into there. It would have been really cool if they were both our number 5s, because that would have just saved a bit of time.
So my number 2, we mentioned him just a bit before. Tusk.
Tusk.
It's of course my favorite JoJo. I have to include his stand.
Mm-hmm.
And what I liked about Tusk was it was similar to what was Koichi's stand called?
I think
Reverb.
Echoes.
Echo. Sorry. Yeah. So like it has different evolution. Where at first it's like some very small little tiny chibi looking boy, and then at the end of part 7 it's a big swole looking motherfucker who's fucking strong as shit. Like the way Tusk beat D4C. Reading that was so good.
Infinite spin. Yeah, that's not a good way to go. Not a good way to go.
I think isn't it the only thing that could probably beat Tusk is like Golden Experience Requiem. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty sure. He's the. I think Golden Experience Requiem is the one unbeatable stand.
Uh, Enrico Pucci would like to have a word with you. That's the only thing I have with Part 6, how they didn't include any Giorno. But anyway, other than that, I love the design of Tusk. Also, it's a pink stand. Pink stands look cool. That's why I just want to say that.
Are there any other pink stands? Oh, good. Crazy Diamond. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Crazy Diamond.
Pink stands do look cool.
What other pink stands are there? I'm trying to think. Shit.
No.
Oh, my mind's gone blank anyway. So yeah, let's carry on. That's my number 2. What's your number 1?
Okay, well, my number 1 is the one you quite literally just mentioned, Mr. Spiky-haired boy, Golden Experience Requiem.
Oh, okay.
Again, probably okay. You know how I said the world was the most broken stand? I take it back.
Yeah.
Golden Experience Requiem.
GER, sorry. Yep.
GER, hands down, one of the best designed stands in all of the series, and one of the best friggin' reveals in all of the series. You know, and has one of the best powers. His power is literally playground rules. You know, you know playground rules. You know when they're like, oh, you know when you're like, oh, I have a gun. Yeah, well, I have a barrier. Well, I have a sword that breaks the barrier. And, you know, you just keep going back and forth like that with your friends.
Yeah.
That's quite literally Golden Experience Requiem's power. It's just like, nah, I write the rules.
I win.
I win.
It's my ball. I can choose what I want to
Yeah.
do.
Well, what's my stand power? Oh, that's easy. I win. That's the power.
It's literally Victini from Pokemon, the stand. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Golden Experience Requiem.
Oh, and the fact that he put King Crimson and what's his name, Diavolo, in an infinite death loop.
I feel so bad for Dick. I really like Diavolo as well. I didn't want that to be the way he goes.
No. I was glad that was the way he went because of how we fucking killed Narancia, the prick.
Fair enough.
I'm still salty about that. Narancia was my best boy.
Torture dance, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, for the whole number name.
Coming from my mind. Yeah. So who's your number 1?
So my favorite stand is from my favorite character in all of JoJo. Funny Valentine stand. Dirty deeds done that cheap.
Ooh,
So Funny Valentine is the best villain in JoJo. I don't care what anyone says. And the fact that his stand looks so fucking cool as well. That's the thing with me and stands. The abilities I might not care about too much. Just the name and how they look. The dirty deeds on dirt cheap. It's got that fucking bunny design. Looks so fucking sick. And also, it's an AC/DC reference. It's like I'm a bit. That just goes perfectly with me.
Yeah, no, that's fairly reasonable. So
It's the whole traveling through dimensions ability opened up so much shit for Part 7 in general.
yeah,
So much stuff happened because of that stand, and I love me dirties on cheap. Or as they called, filthy acts at reasonable price.
especially I think D4C Love Train, the part towards the end of Part 7 where he just goes super broken. It's like, yeah, Araki has a really, really bad habit of making his villains so broken, where the only way for the good guy to win is like some sort of Deus Ex Machina arse pull, like a Golden Experience Requiem, or Jotaro, I Stop Time too. It's like, okay. Granted, to be fair, I don't really consider the Jotaro stopping time an arse pull. I have my reasons for thinking, that I feel like that's a completely logical thing for him to have done. But yeah,
I just love D4C.
That's our top 5 favorite stands. So
Yep.
now we're just gonna go on to our top 5 favorite moments in the show. So I guess I'll start off with my number 5 favorite moment, which is the one I just mentioned, which was the thing Jotaro is able to stop time too. Because
that was a big reveal.
That was a very big reveal, especially the thing. Again, a lot of people had a lot of backlash towards this moment. They're like, oh, it is such an arseball, and I know I just made the joke about it being an arseball, but here's why I think it's not. So again, at that point, Jotaro had his stand for just over a month. So yeah, he didn't really know how to use it. Like, he hadn't known how to use it fully. And as soon as he started fighting Dio, the first thing he noted was, our stands are the same.
It's the
You know,
same type of
it's the
stand as
same
Star
type of
Platinum.
stand. So then he sees Dio stop time, so he must think, maybe I can stop time too. I mean, yeah, I mean, to me it makes sense because I'm like, the second, Dio said, the second he says to Dio, oh, it's the same type of stand as Star Platinum. I'm like, okay, I think I know where this is going, but I don't know for sure. And then it's revealed, and it's just the whole thing of Dio just had his super earthing power up moment, sucking Joseph's blood, being able to stop time for like 50, no, sorry, it was 11 seconds at that point.
Mm.
And he thought he had flattened Jotaro to death.
Roda Roda.
And then Jotaro just comes up from behind and he's just like, "Hey Dio." And then like at that moment I felt the chills down Dio's spine because I'm like, "Yo, my guy he just got done by his own trick." It's like imagine being you used to watch wrestling, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. Imagine, Batista losing a match because he got Batista bombed. It's like
Or Undertaker getting tombstone power driven.
yeah,
Lost rid.
like there is a certain level of embarrassment to losing to your own move,
Mm-hmm.
which is perfectly feasible in the situation of Dio because Dio is just an arrogant prick who just laughs at everything, who makes a joke out of everyone except for Jonathan. He had respect for Jonathan, but aside from that, he got humbled in that moment. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 favorite moment. I mentioned it before when talking about favorite JoJo. It's the first scene of Jotaro. Just mum, you bitch. A lot of my favorite JoJo moments aren't anything to do with the deep fights and whatnot. It's literally just random funny lol moments. It's just so weird because you got part 1 Johnny JoJo gentleman like, part 2 a bit whacker type, part 3 just straight up edgelord calling
Yeah,
his mum a bitch. And especially when in there in the restaurant later, he's like, "Oh, you bitch, shut up." And then Joseph's like, "What the hell are you calling your mum a bitch?"
and then his mom is just like, okay,
Yeah,
and I'm like, yo, this woman, like, her husband just really did not treat her right if she's willing to take this level of shit from her son. It's
yeah.
like something's wrong with that family. It's like Joseph should have just stayed and raised them, like been a stay-at-home grandpa or something. But we all know what Joseph got up to in his spare time. Freaking. So we were number 5, right? So now I'm going to number 4. So my number 4 favorite moment in JoJo has to be the iconic part 2, the Nigerundayo.
Whoa,
Ah, I
Smoky.
love.
Okay,
Again,
okay.
that is one of the things that cemented Joseph as my favorite character in the show. Sorry, my favorite. I think JoJo. It's because it's like, yo, he that whole scene was just building up. It's like, oh, this is really intense. You've got Straits. You've got Smokey getting all worried about what's Joseph gonna do. You haven't it. Yeah, you just spent the past episode and a half building up Joseph as this new main character, and his first instinct is run.
Run away. Get the fuck out of there.
And at first I'm like, oh, wow, he really isn't as brave as Jonathan. And then you realize, oh no, there's a reason he ran. It's because of him. He wanted to get people. He wanted to get away from as many people as possible, so that he could go all out. Hence why he fought him on the bridge. But even though he still kidnapped that girl, and how
Called her a hack.
yeah, how little he cared about her was just so funny. But yeah, it was one of the things that made Joseph seem a lot more layered. Like, yeah, he's not a gentleman like Jonathan, but he's still there to do the right thing ultimately. He's like, his heart is ultimately a pure one. He's like, yeah, he might not be as clean and chiseled as, his grandfather, but he's not trying to be. He's trying to be his own man, but he's also trying to be one that fights for good, but in an effective way. Because, like, the thing with Jonathan is Jonathan would never rely on dirty tricks to win. Joseph does not have that moral dilemma.
She's like, "Oh, get this W any means necessary."
Exactly. So
Mm.
what's your number 4?
So we mentioned it a lot. We've mentioned what our places would be in this quite a lot, but yeah, pizza mozzarella. As we were saying, once I get anime, that'll be the greatest JoJo moment of all time. That's all I can say. It's just funny.
It is funny. It,
Yeah,
it would be funnier if it was animated because then you could actually.
we do have some sort of animated, but I don't know if you finished Eyes of Heaven on PS4.
I have finished Eyes of Heaven. Oh yeah,
There's the part.
after every fight, yeah, he does. When
Yeah,
he's teaming with Johnny.
yeah.
Say
They
his
start singing pizza mozzarella, and then Johnny's reaction like, "Oh my god, that's so catchy!
Yeah,
It's
he's like,
stuck in my
I really love the Rella bit.
head." So pizza mozzarella. That's my number 4. What's your number 3?
Um, my number 3, I would say, has to be, you know, Narancia when he's facing the shark guy
Yeah, yeah. I
when
think.
he's killing him or when he's killing him at the end. He's got the shark attached to I think his throat,
Mm,
and he's just like, "Oh, what, you think I'm gonna falter?" It's like obviously
yeah.
because Narancia like basically was built up as like he was like the most innocent, yeah, sort of the most innocent of that lot. Like you would think, oh, he's the weakest one, but at that moment, you know, that his little Bolare Bia moment where
Mm,
he's taking on where he beat 2 stands in one go, like he beat 2 guys in one. It's like, oh yeah, he's no weak link. Don't get me wrong. Like that moment let Narancia stand out as his own. Like even though prior to the Diavolo reveal,
mm,
everyone got their own little episode sort of dedicated to them to show what they could do. But this one was like, oh no, because like Narancia was basically the punching bag of all the villains. Let's be honest. Narancia in part 5 was like Polnareff in part 3, just a lot less annoying and a lot more
yeah.
endearing. He was the go-to target for all the villains.
Especially when he was trying to do his homework with was it Mister?
No,
Or was it Fugo?
Fugo, and
Yeah, Fugo.
and Fugo fucking stabs him.
So random.
It is, but like that dynamic that the group have is one of my favorites. Like, I prefer, most of the time I prefer the JoJo parts where they do have a group
Hmm.
because it just feels like things always get more fleshed out. And it's like,
Yeah, part 4 felt a bit weird because it was like Koichi, Okuyasu, and Jotaro and Josuke, but then it just felt like it was like one character in the episode, not the
yeah,
full.
because they kept bouncing from side character to side character to side
Mm,
character, and just like, can we focus on like the main 3 or 4, please?
yeah.
Whereas with I think with Stardust Crusaders and Golden Wind, it's like, oh, here's your core 6 characters, 7 if you're including what's her name, Trish,
Hmm.
and here's the journey that they're going on. Here's the mishaps that they get into. It's like, okay, I like this. This is the type of dynamic which I can really get behind.
Mm.
I kind of miss that in the later parts. Part 7 and 8 don't have that, but they're still really good in their own regard. But yeah, that's my number 3 favorite.
Mm.
What's his name?
All right.
Getting his standout.
My number 3 was, I think it was your number 4, Nigrande Yo Smokey. There's too many goated moments in JoJo where it's universally agreed that you have to have that in your favorite part. Especially how it just happens. It's like he just whipped out the Tommy gun and it's like, oh shit, let me get the fuck out of here.
That bit was hilarious.
I just the voice actor behind, like, because I recently started watching Gintama and hearing the voice actor for Gintoki say Nigrande on that as well. It's like, oh, this voice actor's blessed.
He is
He's a great
actually
voice.
a legend.
I don't know if you've seen the show called Nietzsche Bros. It's called The Daily Lives of High School
I
Boys.
have seen it. Yeah, he voices the character.
Oh,
He voices
he
the guy with the
voices,
glasses.
yeah. Or they were Jack. Oh, I love the voice actor. So yeah,
It is,
Nigaranda or Smokey, great line.
yeah, and the thing about him is right, because I've heard him as Gintama and as Joseph. Whenever he plays a serious role, I can't take him seriously.
I've never seen a serious role. I hope there isn't a serious role.
Okay, I don't know if this is serious or not, but he voices Escanor.
Oh, is he? Is he Escanor?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I did not realize that. Fuck yeah.
which Escanor is a semi-serious character, semi-joke.
Yeah, because he has his skinny mode where he's like a bartender, funny
Yeah,
sort
and
of vibe.
then he has this freaking wedge Hulk
Swole
mode.
boy, swole boy mode. Yeah. Damn, that guy is so versatile. Man.
Yeah, the more you know, the more you know.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, what's your number two?
My number two is one I mentioned earlier when regarding my number one favorite stand, the reveal of Golden Experience Requiem, or
All right.
as I always like to voice it, the Kore ga Requiem da. I'm sorry, but it's just something about that build up, and I think it's because in the intro, in the Traitor's Requiem intro, when you see, Golden Experience Requiem is revealed, and just the way the way it angles Jono as he's doing his punching barrage, it's just a special kind of badass, and the whole thing of that whole situation, we had literally just lost Bucciarati, just lost Narancia.
Everyone was fucking getting off everything.
Everyone was getting off left, right, and centre. Polnareff's a turtle. Mista is body swapped with Trish. Trish is body swapped. Jono was floating between Narancia and his own body. It's just like, what is going on? And then all you see is the arrow is just guides itself to Jono's hand. He stabs himself. He stabs Golden Experience with the arrow, and then the transformation happens. And it's just like, this is a special kind of badass moment that you never really get to see too often. And then you just see how he rinses King Crimson like effortlessly. And again, like I mentioned earlier, a stand that can talk is always badass in my book. And so like the fact that the one line that I think GER says that always gives me chills, and it's like, my user Giorno Giovanna, he controls me, and he doesn't know what I do. And it's just like, yo, Araki, you did something with this guy. I would never want to cross him on a bad day. I wouldn't want to cross him on a good day, right? The fact that he took someone who could erase time and put him in an infinite death loop. Again, his ability is the most overpowered one in all of anime, I'd say. When he's just like, yeah, you think you did that? No, you didn't. No, I said you didn't, so you didn't. It's my rules. We're playing by my rules now. Freaking rewrites reality. You will never arrive at the truth. That's what he says to Diavolo before putting him in an infinite freaking death loop. Can you imagine an infinite death loop? That'd be horrible. That'd be worse. That's worse than hell. Maybe not worse.
Basically is hell.
Yeah, basically is hell. Wait, what's your number two?
My number two moment was for my former favorite JoBro. Before we go introduced to Gyro Zeppeli, my favorite JoBro is Koichi. Because I just love how...
I think I know what you're talking about.
I love the evolution of Koichi, especially with his hair, but the best moment... Okay, master. Let's
kill the whole
beach. As I said, my top 5 is just full of the random funny moments. But bruh, I think that's the first time I paused the anime and just had to keep watching it like a billion times. I like one of my mates, Clevis, when he was watching JoJo, I was like, you have to tell me when you get to episode 27. You have to tell me when you get to this, because I need to watch this part with you again. It's just such a random moment. And whenever the English gets introduced in JoJo, the English is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I think Koichi has never been one of my favorite characters. I just didn't like him.
Koichi is an alpha. He gets Chi on the daily.
No. I do like his stand though. Like that's the one. Echoes Act 3 is one of my favorite. Like, he's not my top 5, but he's shortlisted. As in if what's it called? If Sex Pistols didn't exist, it would have been, what's his name? It would have been Echoes Act 3, because again I love the whole SHIT when he's just like when he's first introduced, when he's facing sheer heart attack, and he's like, mate, you wanted me to do my best to try and stop him. I tried to stop him. It didn't work. Tough cookies. You know, Echo says attitude, and I quite like that.
Hmm.
But
I just love that. So good.
it's a solid moment. It really is. Alright, so I guess we're on our number ones now. So my number one all-time favorite moment in all of JoJo
Okay.
is from part 5.
Alright.
A lot of this is actually part 5. The 7-page Muda.
Okay, yeah.
That is one of the
Yeah.
best beatdowns in all of anime history. Dare I say, it is the best beatdown in all of anime history, because just the way, you know, Giorno tricks the guy into thinking is like, don't worry, man, I'll let you go, I'll let you live, and then he just dupes the guy, and I'm like, because like, me and Giorno were thinking the same thing at the moment. It's like, bro, you are a piece of shit. What made you think he was ever gonna go through with that? You are actually stupid. A piece of shit like you. And then he proceeds to lay the smack down on him just for 30 seconds in the anime. Well, like 35 seconds in the anime, but 7 pages in the manga.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And then the way he ends it with him being crushed in a trash compactor. Or sorry, in a trash can, and just like, yo, Giorno, my man, please do not. If I ever piss you off, just let me know. Let me know, so I just like.
Me going to be hit with that, so I can prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, everything.
Oh no! Imagine a GER 7-page Muda.
That's like a bunch of Mike Tyson punches.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson one punches enough.
Bruh, like, if it was a GER 7-page Muda, then you wouldn't just be in a state of infinite death. You would be like in a state like you would be like exploded and reanimate. Like you basically reach the end of the universe. You'd probably be sent back and forth between the beginning and the end of time, or something like that. Because Gold Experience is a great stand. Gold Experience Requiem is a fucking phenomenal stand. And then if you had a 7-page Muda with him, like, I'm sorry, R.I.P. 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 to the person that happens to. I still am annoyed that he wasn't in part 6. So like,
yeah, I'm sorry about that as well.
But I feel like if he was in part 6, you wouldn't have like a story like way to pave into part 7
honestly,
and 8.
How could Enrico go against GRE? I mean GER.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you see, I have this theory that GER protected Giorno, and that
maybe in part 9 we get Italy.
Yeah, and then I think, to be fair, Araki did say he was going to do it. He was aiming to do another part in Italy.
Oh, I just had a big brain moment. What if in part 9 he goes back to Italy? It's the new universe, part 5, but it's the same Giorno, and then part 10 is the final JoJo part. It's all the JoJos in one big fight or some shit. Smash Bros. Smash Bros. That's exactly what it is.
Eyes of Heaven.
Legit the game, but just better. Not this clone bullshit.
But honestly, I still, even though I have no reason to believe that this is the case, I still think that theory of, when the universe was being reset by Pucci, Golden Experience Requiem was just like, I see that. Not good. I'm gonna protect my boy Giorno here so that he doesn't get affected by any of that.
Yeah.
Again, nothing to give any credence to that theory. It's just a theory, a film theory. It's not a film theory. It's
a JoJo.
It's a JoJo theory. Which
There we go.
What's your all-time favorite?
So most of my ones have been joke ones, like funny random moments, but this one is actually a pretty high moment. It's a part 7 moment. So it's towards, I think, the final end of the race. Johnny is on his horse. Someone's behind him. Hold up. It's Diego Brando with Zawado. With the fucking world.
Oh yeah.
Bruh.
Another world.
Bruh, that just blew my mind. Because I was thinking, okay, part 7 is established. It's a reboot. There's not going to be anything going on. And then this other dimension, Diego comes out with the world. With Zawado. Such a sick moment. Such a good moment. I was on the bus reading it, and I was fucking screaming and shit, because I was like, this is too fucking hype. How the hell? The thing is, as well, because I was so confident it was going to be someone else. When I was reading it, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be like I don't know, a hot pants, but she's evil now or some shit. But then, bro, as soon as you see Diego and like with the world, it's just, it's literally part 7 took one of the best stands from part 3 to put it in there. It's like, sprinkle that in, make part 7 even better than it already is.
That's funny. A lot of people actually feel the opposite to you regarding that. Like,
what? That was such a sick moment. What the hell?
like in the
Oh,
JoJo
no.
community, I see a lot of people like have so much like they say it was a cop out moment. Like I personally don't have too much of a problem with it. You know, I wasn't as blown away with it as you were, but
I
you
was,
know,
I was
I
like,
don't
whoa.
I don't go scorched earth on it like everyone else does. But
Mm.
I think you are like one of the very few people who I've seen to have the contradictory opinion to the consensus on that.
Bro, I love that moment. It was so hype. So hype.
It's, yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's my.
It's pretty
That was,
solid.
that was my top 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are our top 5 JoJo moments and also our top 5 JoJo stands. Now, yes, this week was very different to all the others because, well, not very different to episode 1 because it was just another top 5 episode. But again, not much really happened. Again, more Corona cancellation. Actually, there was one big Corona cancellation which kind of hit me where we all live. STCC got cancelled.
ST, what, sorry?
SDCC, San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, it's like Comic Con. Yeah, I heard about that.
It's
Yeah.
just like, come on, man. This virus ain't taking no prisoners. You know, again,
Mm.
purple haze. It's quite literally purple haze. But yeah, once again, as always, we've been your Gyros. You can follow me on Twitter at IJazSSJ3 or on Instagram at IJSSJ3. That's IJJYSSJ3. Rafi, where can we find you?
Can find me on YouTube's Race Folder. There'll be a channel link in the description. And my Twitter, Instagram, Rafi_XCV triple I. Not triple I.
98 in Roman numerals.
In Roman numerals,
Have
yeah.
you uploaded any content yet to your channel?
Nope. I should be from this Wednesday because my last submission is Wednesday. The work's all done, but yeah, once that's done, I'll be hopefully going full steam ahead. I've just got too much stuff on my time. I got Yakuza to play, Gintama to watch, Final Fantasy 14 to play. Too much shit.
We better be, we're expecting some quality live streaming,
We'll see. Well, I should be twitching soon.
You've got a capture card, right?
No, I just use the PS4 one.
Oh right. Oh yeah, PS4 has built-in capture card, doesn't it?
So yeah, I streamed a couple before. I streamed Dark Souls. That's where all my clips came from. But yeah.
All right. Well, guys,
Be for that.
Keep an eye out for that. Click the link in the description. Subscribe to his channel. Like this video. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Share. Suggest.
All the shit.
Make any suggestions you want. What we did well. What we did shit. And as always shit before you shower.
And read Berserk.
All right, guys. See ya.
Yeah.